You're probably wondering why I haven't posted a Drag Race video in 2 weeks. This season is boring me. And before you come for me, let me explain, because I feel like I can explain it in a way that makes sense. But let's get the food together first. Also, I don't barely have any notes, because I was like, you know what? Let me just talk about it off the dome. Also, we're going to be talking about in this video why I'm bored, Snatch Game, because you cannot not talk about Snatch Game, and the most recent episode with the design challenge. I got salad, nuggets, and fries. One thing about it, if I get a salad from Chick-fil-A, like, I'm getting something else with it too. Like, for me, the salad is not the meal. I feel like this is very much a side salad. And I know they have side salads, but I want a big side salad. Oh, we got a Coke. Wow! This Coke is so good. You know what's crazy? I'm not even super into Coke, but I have like my Coke phases. That's bomb. We're gonna put this in the Pyrex bowl, obviously, because it is just not enough space. Too much stuff, not enough space.
Too much stuff and not enough space.
Do y'all remember the Space Bags commercial? The too much stuff, not enough space. Just let this not be messy. Oh, because the bowl is flexible. Why do I feel like this is not space either? What the heck? Please. I'm just about to go grab a huge bowl from the kitchen. I just feel like today is not one of those days where I feel like struggling for space. Oh, so much easier. Woo! Do you see how free? Do you see how much freedom I have? Oh, free us from these small bowls. Oh. I love me a good Marcus salad. I just go like this. And I use this for the fries and the nuggets. I kind of like mix it up in this way. Oh, and then look at that bite. Please, that's so good. Hold on, I'm hungry, like dang. Ow, I bit my lip. Okay, let's get into why I'm bored. After the doll episode, the episode where they had to make an outfit for themselves and their dolls to match, it confirmed my feelings that I was already having that this season is kind of boring. I was feeling like this from the beginning, really, if I'm being honest. It was kind of hard for me to flesh that thought out in my mind because I love the queens. Like all the energy I've had in these past videos, that's how I felt because I love a lot of these queens. Like some of these queens will go on to be some of my favorite queens in the history of Drag Race. Like, however, I felt like there was something from the beginning that was missing from this season and I could not put my finger on it. And then like I said, because I love the queen so much, it was really hard for me to even be like, are you even bored? And then also because it was in the beginning, I'm like, Shari, we're on episode 2. Like, you know what I mean? Give it a chance. Like, how could you know if it's boring yet? So I'm like giving it a chance, staying enthusiastic. I love the queens, blase squaze. I don't know if y'all remember, but the episode where they did RDR live, I low-key touched on this. I forgot exactly what I said. That challenge overall had me kind of concerned. I remember watching RDR live and I was so bored by it. Despite the fact that people did bad, it was actually boring to me. I was like, wow, we just got through a full challenge and I couldn't even be entertained by the queens who did bad. Because let's be real, even when queens do bad on Drag Race in the past, sometimes that's entertaining and it ends up being like iconic and really good for them in the long run. The doll episode I found very boring. The Amanda versus Plain beef that was happening from the beginning of the season, it was old the second it started. I was tired of it from the beginning. A lot of people found it fun. I was bored by it. It felt more like a nuisance. I'm like, can we just... Where is the spark, the pizzazz like of the season? I feel like this season feels a little contrived, a little formulaic, maybe overly produced. I think part of it is the challenges. We've had 3 design challenges. Boring. Design challenges can be interesting because I like to see which queens are going to turn it on the runway. But I mostly like to see the personality of the queens. I feel like in the workroom, usually I'm most excited to see like workroom scenes where they're interacting with each other. And it's been cool, but it hasn't like, I haven't been having as good of a time as I have in past seasons watching the workroom. I feel like in the beginning of the season, there was a lot of like, sister, sister. And I'm like, where's the like fun? Where are the queens who were like, oh my gosh, this girl is ridiculous, or this girl is this, or like, there used to be so much variation in personality types as well. I feel like we're getting a lot of similar personality types. Not everybody, because I feel like when it comes down to their drag, a lot of these queens are very different. Like, Dawn is not gonna put the same thing on the runway that Morphine is. You know what I mean? But as far as like the workroom interactions, I'm used to seeing so much variation. I enjoy that variation. I feel like that's missing for me. Even like the beef that some of the queens have, I feel like it doesn't even flow the same way that it has before. Like I said, with the Plain and Amanda beef, it seemed like so forced. I think that's what it is. A lot of things seem forced and I'm like, I'm not enjoying it. And it's just so weird to me because A lot of people are saying like, this is the season that brought me back to Drag Race. Like, this is the season that got me watching again. This is the first season that's been interesting in a while. That for me is blowing my mind. Did y'all watch last season with Mother Colby, Mistress Isabel Brooks, Anitra, Lux? Like, are you joking? Like, that season was so good. I don't understand how this is the season that's waking it up. I really don't understand. Last season, first of all, I felt like the dynamics of personalities were wild. We had Sugar and Spice, who quite literally live in their own world, and I enjoy watching it. We have Mistress, who is slick at the mouth at every turn, but we'll turn it in a challenge. I enjoyed her personality. She was so dry and funny. And then we have Lux, who is like also dry, but also high energy and also very, very overly confident, but not even overly confident because she really does turn it and like she puts her money where her mouth is. We have Anitra, who's like kind of quiet, but like silent killer. I don't know, I feel like I'm not making any sense, honestly. I don't know if y'all are gonna understand what I mean. And let me give these queens their flowers before y'all take this the wrong way. I think they're so amazingly talented. I think Nymphia could take every single look she makes and put it on the runway next to seasoned designers. That is an artist. That is a designer. I love Dawn's drag aesthetic. I'm so shocked that she hasn't won anything at this point. I love me some Saphira. Saphira walked in a winner. I sincerely hope she wins because she simply is a winner. Her personality, her spirit, the way she was comforting Plasma last episode, we'll get to that. She's multi-talented. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that the queens this season are lacking because I don't feel like it's necessarily them. Maybe it's as a group, I just wanted to see, I don't know how to word it. Like where is the queen who was like so, is my camera battery? Hey, you know how like each season will have the queen that is like so strange. Like I missed that. Did we get that last season? I don't remember. But for example, like Utica. Like I feel like we had every season, like there was a queen that was like that or like just so weird and you're like, what is she going to do or say next? And she's like actually naturally weird. Like not trying to be weird for the cameras, but they just are. I feel like I'm missing that. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Because I feel like I'm rambling. It's not making sense. Anyway, do y'all remember when I did my video about the RDR live episode? And I said, the acting of these queens has me concerned for Snatch Game. This is what I meant. Snatch Game episode showed me my fears that I had, or confirmed for me the fears that I had. I feel like it's a good example of why I'm bored this season. Snatch Game is my favorite episode. I feel like Snatch Game is everybody's favorite episode. It's the most popular challenge of all of Drag Race. Not that people didn't do good, because I think Plain and Saphira turned it. We had Q doing kind of okay. We had Dawn doing, she was reading Meghan McCain for filth. I enjoyed that part, but it was just kind of okay. A lot of people were just kind of okay. I feel like whether it's good or bad, I just want it to be memorable. I feel like even if you do horrible in Snatch Game, if it's memorable in some way, like people will kind of love it after the fact, not at the moment. That was good, man. I'm so mad about to be out of nuggets. I got one nugget left, no! Also, I really feel like Tsunami's character, the Gold Tooth Fairy, could have been so good, but I think she didn't know what direction to go with it. The minute she said Gold Tooth Fairy, I was like, this can be really good, because I feel like the queens who kind of take a character that we already know, but there's no real personality associated with them and they add something different to it, can do really well because they get to kind of take it anywhere they want and get to give us a new interpretation. Like we all know who the Tooth Fairy is, but what do we know about her personality? I'm trying to think of another character that can kind of be like that. For example, like if somebody did Santa Claus, or even better, Mrs. Claus. Like we know who they are, we know what they do, but we don't really know so much about their personality. Stuff like that can go really well. That bite was so good. It had the perfect balance of everything. But this is what I was kind of thinking for Tsunami's character. If she made Gold Tooth Fairy like a hustler / con artist, I feel like that would have really ate. Like she's taking these teeth and like selling them on the black market, like doing something shady, like conning people out of more teeth, something to make her different. But I feel like the Gold Tooth Fairy, like not the Tooth Fairy, the innocent one, no, the gold one who's a hustler. Do y'all see what I mean? Like I feel like that could have really ate. But she didn't really give it a new angle. She was, and I'm pretty sure the judges said this, they said it was just Tsunami in a wig. But Plain and Saphira really entertained me during Snatch Game. They kept me going. Saphira and her character shoe, I don't know why that's so funny, but the fact that we saw her foot and it was that character shoe, like, girl, he always got them character shoes on. Whether it should have been Plain or Saphira that won, I feel like it could have been a double win moment. Each time one of them talked, both of them had my full attention. These getting cold, but they're still good. Also, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm also glad that it's happening this way. I'm starting to like Plain a lot more. She's much more enjoyable when she's not doing these random uncalled for attacks. I can actually see who she is as a person. And that's why I've said in the past videos, it was more so like what she's showing right now, I don't enjoy that. Her beef with Amanda was not fun and it was not good TV for me. It was kind of just annoying. But I feel like we're getting to see more facets of her personality. And in Untucked, when she was talking about how like Snatch Game was kind of blah and how a lot of people did not do good, I actually agreed with her. A lot of the queens, especially Q was like very upset. And I'm like, in that case, I really don't think Plain was rude. Like, I really don't. And I'm the first person to like, if I feel like she says something that's kind of uncalled for, it's like, girl, what was the point? But I really don't think it was uncalled for. And I think it was like very truthful. Like, it made sense. And also, I just don't think she said it in a mean way. Like, when she went to Amanda and was like, I'm waiting for your looks to sway me, I'm like, okay, but who are you? But in this case, I'm like, they all just competed in the Snatch Game. Even Plain herself was like, I literally don't take what I say seriously. Like, if it offended any of y'all, like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Saphira said it best. Saphira was like, I think Plain is just saying, like, as a fan of this show, she's like disappointed in how Snatch Game turned out. And maybe that's why I understood it, because as a fan of this show, I was disappointed in how Snatch Game went. And when she got up and she was like, do you want me to point him out? You. I thought that was funny. I'm like, okay, I feel like her reads are getting to be more like funny and like make sense. I feel like that's also part of what makes a read really powerful. If it really clicks and makes sense in the moment, I'm down with it. And I feel like in that moment, I'm like, I think y'all are dragging it. I really don't think she was wrong. I really don't think she said anything rude. Like, now of course, I'm not there, okay? I'm also not a drag artist, so I don't know how it feels when somebody says something like that. But I didn't think she was wrong. I didn't think she was wrong in that moment. They're also showing like a more fun side of her, so it makes her more likable, because I'm seeing more than just somebody who just like always has something to say. Now, for this most recent episode with the design challenge. Oh wait, no, let me throw it back for a minute to a past design challenge. I just feel like I need to get this off my chest and see who like agrees with me or knows what I'm talking about. In the episode where they had to design something for themselves and then make their doll, the judges were ranting and raving over Plain's look. Mind you, I did think it was flawlessly constructed. Like, that looked like something that you go into a store and go ahead and buy. It did not look like something that was made that day. This is not me saying that I don't believe that she made it that day. I'm complimenting her. Like, it was put together, it was sewn so well. I'm like, this looks like something that was ready-made. However, is it just me? I felt like it looked like a dance costume for a 10-year-old jazz trio titled Divas Under the Sea. When I saw it, I'm like, it is well constructed, but y'all are living for this? It gave dance costume, like competition kid jazz trio or competition kid jazz duo, jazz solo, and it is called Fashion Queens Underwater. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like that's what it gave. I'm like, this what y'all tripping about? I don't know, maybe because I'm a dancer, so I'm automatically, it looked like a costume. Competition kid dance costume, okay? Moving on to last week's episode with the design challenge. Like I said, all these design challenges, I'm like, can we go the rest of the season without another design challenge? Because they're just not as fun to me. I like the challenges where they have to act or dance or things like that. I think the next episode actually is gonna be like dancing, singing. I felt bad for Plasma because I could see her getting in her head. And Saphira had it dead on. Saphira is mother. We know this. Like, the way that those girls respect her, the way that she talks to them, like her going over to Plasma and she's like, where is that annoying girl? I feel like she's not here right now. And I'm like, yes, because I live for Plasma's energy. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't stand Plasma, but it's like, okay, I love hearing her talk. She might talk a lot, but it's like, that's who she is. I don't know. And I love seeing that. And I do feel like she was getting really scared and she was getting really in her head about it. And it was such a nice moment to see Saphira go and like hug her and be like, shake it out. Like, Y'all, I'm so sore. Every move I make that has to use my core is like killing me right now. Coffee, you look so cute, my love. Oh my gosh. Y'all, he's really sleepy right now, so he looks so cute. He's just staring at me like, girl, literally, what the hell are you talking about? Dawn gave Plasma the advice of like, maybe this is your time to switch it up. Like, you've already talked about how you wanted to switch it up. Like, maybe this is your time. I saw some people online saying like, Dawn knew she sabotaged her with that comment. Like, I can recognize a sabotage comment from a mile away. Just no. I think some people, I feel like when I see comments like that, it's kind of a testament to the way people think. Not that people haven't tried to sabotage people in the past. We have seen it on Drag Race. I totally believe it happens. I'm just saying, I feel like people keep seeing all this stuff from Dawn that I'm not really seeing. Well, I could be 100% wrong and I'll accept that, but I don't think that I am. People keep saying like, Dawn is the real shady one. Dawn is the pot stirrer. Or now we're seeing Dawn knew she was sabotaging her. I really don't think that Dawn was trying to sabotage her. They are with each other all the time. They're talking all day. Plasma has given like her signature Plasma aesthetic. I feel like it's totally plausible that they have had conversations in the past where Plasma is like, I want to show something new beyond what I always show. And Dawn is seeing Plasma be in her head. I feel like it's totally normal to be like, you know what? Maybe to get out of your head, like this could be your time to step out of the box and you might surprise yourself. That sounds normal to me. That sounds normal to me. I feel like some people are so desperate for a storyline that they will start just like inventing things like, oh, she knew she was trying to sabotage her. Like, girl, maybe she just was talking. Like, think about like in normal daily life, like people make suggestions all the time. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Like I said, I do feel like some people are desperate for a storyline, so they make things up. Some people might just actually believe it. Some people might actually just believe she was trying to sabotage her. That's cool too. This is just kind of how I see it and work out in my brain, because when I see these comments sometimes from this fan base, I wonder if we're watching the same show. That's really what it is. And even in Untucked, they talked about it and Dawn was like, I do not want you to think that I was trying to like sabotage. And I believed her. Like Dawn, they call her Honesty. Like Dawn can be like shady and she'll give her a little shade and she'll be honest. But to her core, I don't think she's like a mean or like sabotagey kind of queen. I think she focuses on her craft. Dawn is doing her thing. I don't really think she has to sabotage Plasma to do good. That's another thing. How would it benefit her to sabotage Plasma? When we're talking about the runway, I personally consider Dawn a look queen. I don't think Plasma turns bad looks, but I don't necessarily think of her as a look queen. I think of her as like performance, etc. If Dawn wanted to sabotage somebody for a look, it would be Q or Nymphia. Like, think about it that way too. What does she benefit from sabotaging Plasma? Ooh, also in Untucked, it was so cute hearing Plain talk about Nymphia. Plain was like, I think she's so pretty. Nymphia, I think you're so pretty. That was so cute. This is what I mean. Like, I'm really glad that I'm getting to see another side of her, because first it just seemed like, you never have anything nice to say, do you? I think that's what it was for me. It just seemed like at every turn, she never had a single nice thing to say. And ever since Raider Queen, I had an issue with her doing it the way that she did. It just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, but we're seeing more levels to her, and I appreciate seeing those more levels to her. Plasma going home. Once again, this brings me back to why sometimes I take issue with a lip sync being the saving grace. I take issue with the lip sync process as a whole, because I sometimes feel like it should not determine who goes home. And I get it, it is a fixture in this competition, and I think it always will be. Like, I feel like there's not gonna be a RuPaul's Drag Race without a lip sync for your life. And I don't necessarily want there to be a RuPaul's Drag Race without a lip sync for your life. I enjoy those lip syncs. They are some of the most iconic parts of the show, like some things that people remember forever. Anitra doing the dive over Marsha, like the first wig reveal we ever had. Lip syncs are a big part of this show, but it's situations like these where it doesn't sit right with me. And I said this with Amanda and Q. Judging by the lip sync, Amanda should have won. I could understand Q being saved because Q had consistently done well in the competition. I cannot personally, honestly say that it would make sense for somebody who has done so well in the competition to have gone home over somebody who has not really done so well in the competition. You know what I mean? And I feel like we have a similar situation here where Maya has pretty much been in the bottom the entire time. I think she was safe once. And we have Plasma, who has been either safe, never in the bottom, or in the top, and then has also won 2 challenges. And this is my issue, because I keep seeing, like, I'm on the RuPaul Drag Race Instagram, people are like, okay, but Maya turned the lip sync, so of course she stayed. 1000%, I'm so with you on that. There is no question that Maya turned the lip sync, every single part of it. Maya had my attention, I'll be very honest. I didn't really care for the borrowed Sasha Velour flower petal reveal. The Sasha Velour flower petal reveal, that's something I feel like should never be touched in the same way, at least. That changed the course of the show, I feel. So I feel like if we're doing it again and we're doing it in too similar of a way, it's not gonna hit the same. I did not enjoy that part. But the choreo, the flips, I loved it. I thought she was so good. So if we're judging it off of the lip sync, which is what the show does, of course Maya gets to stay. But me personally, This is why I sometimes have a problem with lip syncs, because you can end up sending home a queen who is better in the competition. Let's be real, think outside of the rules for 1 second. Does it make sense to keep a queen who does not do well in the competition over a queen who does really well in the competition just because they're good at lip syncing? You know what I mean? Your one strength is keeping you there and not the fact that you are slaying the competition. Because in my mind, and I know it doesn't always work this way, like the producers do things, they decide who they're gonna keep based off of more than just performance. But in my perfect world, in my mind, the queens who are there in the end are the queens who have done the best in the competition. At least that's how I feel like it should go. So it's never gonna sit right with me when a queen gets to stay just because she's good at lip syncing. I have no problem with my Iman LePage. I loved her during the girl group weeks. I think she did great, but I don't think she's been excelling in this competition the way that Plasma has, and that's the fact of it all. I get it, but I'm just saying that I hate it because I think that the queen who has done best in the competition should stay. Unfortunately, that's not the rules of the show. So it is what it is. But that's all I have. I do think, oh my gosh, y'all, my abs are so sore. I do think that I am gonna continue this series. It's just that I got bored. After the doll episode, I genuinely lost my desire to continue watching this season. I do feel bad though, because I wanna be consistent regardless on here. You know what I mean? Like, I said in my ins and outs of 2024 that I wanted to be more consistent with YouTube again. You know, we have our goals, sometimes we falter, but we're back. And I plan on staying, and I'm sorry for being absent. Until next week, I want another Coke so bad. I might have to go to the grocery store and get Coke.